Hi. Hi. I'm so lost without my chimes. I've been doing this for 9 years, and I left them hanging on a lamp over one of my desks. So, ching! Which is shake out all the energy. Shake out all the. If there's any energy that doesn't belong here, please leave. I am surrounded by the love and peace of God. Divine intelligence opens my way. Those are wonderful affirmations. And if you've been watching my show, every time I walk by Buchanan Street here in San Francisco, I see that tile, and it reminds me of when I really needed. I got that 3 little sentences. Close your eyes, summon your strength, believe. And I do that all the time now. That's my favorite prayer. I made up a prayer. I didn't make it up. Actually, that whole wall was done on Buchanan and Page around this park on both sides of it. It's vast. In 1989. Well, happy new moon. And Andrea, if you're watching, thank you for the microphone. Last time I was here, I had the microphone on a different lapel. My same old lucky shirt. When Desperately Seeking Susan, I love that movie. And as a native New Yorker, my life is all about movie quotes. Where the geeky girl, Arquette, buys Jimi Hendrix in a junk shop, used clothes store in New York City. Madonna puts this jacket on the rack, and it would belong to Jimi Hendrix. It's got a pyramid on the back. So anyway, she's going back to New Jersey, and her husband says, "Where'd you get that jacket?" She said it belonged to Jimi Hendrix. And he says, "What, are we poor?" So I love that. What, are we poor? Poor is a state of mind. Now, I could afford other shirts. I just love this shirt. If you're wondering, doesn't this man have another shirt? Yeah, but I love this one. I have an Aries in the 12th house, and I like uniform. I have this hidden strength comes from wearing. I feel comfortable in my own version of a uniform. So happy new moon. It's the Sagittarius, 15 degrees new moon. Every new moon we get a chance to press the reset button, and this one has got Jupiter in the mix, 6 degrees, sun and moon 15. And numerology wise, 2019 is a 3-year, and it's also look of any attributes of Mercury, and that's what you're going to find what this year is coming up. It will be here. When in Rome, do as the Romans. Even though I believe many of us are old souls who don't buy this January 1st bull BS, bull hockey puck there. We know January, it's the winter solstice. It's all about the winter solstice, which this year we're going to get to that. And once again, I couldn't leave this home. I left the bells at home, the chimes, but I brought last month, October, November's issue of the Mountain Astrologer, only because I want to remind you guys and gals, you people out there who are interested in this. Hey, this has got all of the good charts. Donald Trump, Vladimir Putin, Robert Mueller, Michael Cohen, John Bolton, who's sort of like, he's born in 1948 like myself, so he just turned 70. Brett Kavanaugh, Alexandria Cortez, David Hogg. So those are some good charts if you want to know what's going on. I'll leave that handy here. And so the new moon, see, Sagittarius is all about being in the present. And I get Kathy Rose on, she has astrology on YouTube. She used to do a lot of articles in the Mountain Astrologer. Nowadays, not too much. But that's what I felt. That's when I became a devoted fan of Kathy Rose. So I always listen to her about every new moon, along with other astrologers on the web, the www. And I Google it up to keep up and validate, and then I always add what I'm getting to it, and that's what leads me to what Kathy Rose is saying about this new moon. It's all about Sagittarius is being the present, and the fact is, it's not that. And then she goes down about futuristic, and I don't believe it. The planets don't make things happen, but they simply reflect what's going on. So I totally Oh yeah, we're running. So I totally went on like my last show. I talked about the end of November. Neptune goes direct after a long retrograde period, 13 degrees Pisces. I said secrets that have been. This was the very end of November last month, and sure enough, the beginning of December, we start off with Michael Cohen flipping like a Delpher. They call him Flipper, faster than lightning. Yeah, he. It doesn't look good for this artificial president. This disgusting. Before that's a good thing. There's a book I found at the library, just hit the shelves, The Gift of Anger by Mahatma Gandhi's great-great-great-grandson, who was a little 9-year-old when this is a picture on the cover. So he's either the great-great, he calls him his grandfather, so he's a grown man now in his 40s with lots of kids. So I'm saying he's either his grandfather or his great-grandfather. But anyway, I haven't really read it because I read like, I often share, I read like a lot, and I always read like 3 or 4 books at the same time, simultaneously. Like I'll read a couple of chapters or pages of one book, and then I'll put it down, get something to eat, come back and pick up another book, and I could do that. Because one book doesn't satisfy me. I gotta give it a rest and get some air, and then I get to read something else. See, it took me 70 years to figure out my own process. And this Mind-Body Code, oh, what a great book. We're going to talk about this. Yeah, I like to underline, and this is like, I've been taking this out of the library, and it's really hard to get. And I finally realized I have to break down and buy a copy of this. I ordered it today, and I pick it up on Monday. I like to underline. That's my thing. There's a story of Joseph Campbell way back when he was invited to this Northern California estate of some wealthy friend or patron of his efforts. And on that same weekend, Alan Watts was invited. And so early in the morning, this foggy Northern California morning up in Santa Clara County or Marin County, somewhere up there, the two of them, unbeknownst to each other, unannounced to each other, got up and decided to take an early morning constitutional. And they ran into each other in this early morning, and both, I guess, started out in different directions. Anyway, they introduced each other to each other, and then Alan Watts said to Joseph Campbell, "What form of meditation do you use?" And Joseph Campbell said immediately, "I underline." Yeah, so I have to underline, so that means I have to buy books. And if you ever go to the library and get any of the books that I've got on YouTube, I recommend a lot of books. And if you got them out of the San Francisco Public Main Library, you'll probably see underlined in pencil. I did that. I admit it. I don't do it anymore, but sometimes I just have to very lightly underline something so profound. We're going to get to one of those things real soon. The Mind-Body book is one of those books by Dr. Mario Martinez, How to Change the Beliefs That Limit Your Health, Longevity, and Success. But just because right now, if you're aware and you're conscious, you get angry a lot. I mean, I do when I watch the TV set. See, anger is a very toxic emotion. Stress, worry, and it stresses you out. It sets you up for like a zillion diseases, literally strips your stomach lining, and it's addictive, highly, highly addictive. And it's not one of these addictions like alcoholism or opioid abuse or any of the food addiction, gluttony, whatever you want to call it. Or I'm not saying all food addicts are gluttons, but let's say we live in a gluttonous society. Bulimia exists, but we're not going to go there. There's a lot of addictions that are really in your face. I mean, this addiction to anger and stress, it's a killer. It is a killer. So when this book, I'm walking out of the library, and this was on the shelf of new releases, and it's Arun Gandhi, The Gift of Anger, and just highlighted there's 3 paragraphs I'd like to whip on you. That's a horrible thing to say, whip. Lay it on me, man. Okay. Yeah, my motto is pick a decade you like and stick with it, you know. And I was too messed up to really enjoy the 60s on drugs and stuff. So, and the war. Yeah, the Vietnam War was really not cool. Use your anger for good. Anger to people is like gas to the automobile line. It fuels you to move forward and get to a better place. Without it, we would not be motivated to rise to a challenge. Look what's going on now. The angry people are challenging that. The populace is, the people who are listening to their better angels are challenging that anger. It is an energy that compels us to define what is just and unjust. And that's on page 18. And then on page 21, he says, the next page, when we channel electricity intelligently, we can use it to improve our life. But if we abuse it, we could die. So with electricity, we must learn to use anger wisely for the good of humanity. And then he sums up this chapter, The Gift of Anger, here on page 34 with use your anger wisely. Let it help you find solutions of love and truth. So it might be, why am I angry now? Am I feeding my addiction to anger? Because a lot of times when you start transcending your relationship to anger, and if you really are addicted to anger, and I believe there's a lot of people, little light bulbs are going off, this might be a treatable addiction, you could start by realizing there are flare-up periods, and it's a lot of times binge and purge. It seems the more you said, okay, this is one of those non-material gifts you get to take with you into eternity. So work on, if you've got any kind of anger issues, there's no such thing as justifiable anger. It'll kill you. And especially, like as I said, because it creates this enzyme that's it's toxic. And so you just had to channel that anger creatively. So what's going to happen now in 2019, if you add 2019, reduce it to 1 digit, you get 3. So 2 years ago, 2016, 6, 7, 8, 9, that was the completion year, and that's when we got dumped with Trump, the dump Trump. Trump got dumped on us. Like Pina Coltrane says, the thing doesn't go away until it teaches us what we needed to learn. So, democracy is as good as its last generation. Every generation now, we have to be on guard of how fragile. We understand now, those of us who are conscious, just how this wannabe despot, this fascist. I'm not going to waste any of my energy, but if you're alert, all this is not the America our forefathers and everybody we love who got in a war for this country, 1, 2, Korean War, or in service right now, are gave their lives or are currently up there. So this is a slap in the face to America. Yeah, so all this reset, so I'm saying, I'm not predicting the future, but I did say the planets don't make things happen, but they do reflect what's going on. So this started in the 60s when Uranus and Pluto were conjunct in Virgo, preparing us for where we are with this paradigm changes we're going through. And that brings me to this book here by Mind-Body Code. He says, this is on page 4 of the Mind-Body Code. We can shift our paradigm from living as disdaining disciples of known pain and doubting skeptics of anticipated joy to becoming accepting masters of abundance. Wow. Doesn't that sentence just grab your heart and give it a hug? I want to read it again. I'm an 11, so everything's got to be twice. Donald Trump, what they call him, 2 scoops? Donnie 2 scoops? Oh, he's going to jail. I just love it. Especially the little Donnie Jr., the mini-me. Yeah, it's sad though, because I'll read the sentence, but I just want to repeat what I said on a few shows ago. I don't believe in coincidences, and I was flicking through the stations one morning, and I happened to be on and I saw a clip on MSNBC or CNN of a clip from Donnie Jr. being interviewed on Fox, and he said, when I was a toddler, my father would sit me in a chair and teach me that you can't trust anyone, Donnie. You can't trust anyone. And then a few minutes later, he'd say, Donnie, you trust me? He'd go, yeah, Daddy. He'd go, no, you can't. And so it seems kind of comical, but when you really look at it clinically, that's child abuse, you know. I was raised with the same attitude by my adopted parents who, yeah, they're gone. I outlived them by 20 years. You know, they tried to kill me, and I showed them. And I'm loving my life now. I have a joyful, wonderful life. So it says we can shift our paradigm from living as disdaining disciples of known pain and doubting skeptics of anticipated joy, and to becoming accepting masters of abundance. Now let's move from poetics to practicality. Yeah, this is a great, great book, and I've ordered a copy on Monday, and by the time I'm back here, let me give you my schedule and get that out of the way. And by the way, Denise Dory will be here right after me. She comes at 6, and her show is Liberal Buzz, and it's all about San Francisco politics and really the truth, which is hard to get. I don't have much respect for this mayor as much. I have as much. I'll put it this way. Make it nice, Frank. Make it nice. The current mayor of San Francisco, I have just as much respect for as I have for the one that died. What was his name? The Chinese one. I don't even remember his name now. Durmont, whatever. You know, I mean Dora and Dagwood. You know, if you don't like someone, it's not. Yeah, that fat tick that sucked the blood out of San Francisco, created all the homeless, sold us to the tech company, and then died in a supermarket, you know, like a fat tick. Sucked the blood out of San Francisco, so there's no love lost. Ed Lee, that's his name, Ed Lee. God, you know, I'm not politically correct. And I have more respect for him than I do for this one, you know, so but I guess we have to live with her until the next election. She's just Ed Lee, you know, different version of him. I don't know, I don't even know what's going on. Well, watch Denise's show right after this. And if you're watching this tonight, yeah, 11:09 p.m. is the precise moment, 11:20 p.m. tonight. So when you tuck yourself into bed tonight, release the day and press the reset button. Yeah, all the qualities of Mercury apply to 3s, so the arts are going to flourish. Anything to do with on the computer, any kind of iPod, pod shows, crafting, if you're into making handcrafts, anything, how you self-express. Express yourself. Remember Charles Wright, the 125th Street Band? Express yourself. Dancing, socializing, having fun. This year, we're almost out of this 11 year. I can't wait. It's an intense year. It germinated the seeds we planted 2 years ago. And now for the United States of America, whose day and month, the 4th of July, vibrates to 11, we add this, we're leaving a 22 year and we're going into a 5 year. Now 1776, July 4th, 1776, makes the United States of America a 5 life path. And let me just make sure, I'm pretty sure 76, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 3, 7, July 4th is 11, 7, 8, I see, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Our day and month is 11, and 1776 is 3. 5 life path. So light blue, blue is our color. True blue, baby. Express yourself. Make changes to keep up what's going on with you now. If you're looking around your environment and you say, you know what, I've outgrown this color. You know, this color's stagnating. I need I need to turn this into a table, you know. I got this fabric that would look good if I wrapped it around that, turn that barrel into a table, and all kinds of bring out your creativity now. You know, human potential is really like mystic. The ultimate human potential is to reach the state of mystic. Carl Jung figured that out and did achieve the state of mysticism. There's more mystics. I like another word for mystics is saints. You know, the saints are the sinners that keep on trying. Before enlightenment, chop would carry water. After enlightenment, chop would carry water. There's more saints in heaven there are stars in the sky, but we'll do another show about that. So the whole thing now is to realize most human potential is like way down compared to where our potential could be. When we start opening up to our sensitivity, becoming more conscious of, once again, character defects. I hear something going on. There's a lot of students around here. I'm way back here in San Francisco where we do SF Commons. And I love the useful energy around here. All the arts, so that's good now. After this intense year, the arts flourish. I think it was after the Franco regime, Spain had a little bit of a renaissance. I don't think it's still going on, but so we're all just learning to live together here, learning to live together. And this is the year of communication. When I said Mercury, I'm not assuming a lot of people tell me, not just one or two, but a lot of people say, when you talk about the planets, Frank, I have no idea what you're talking about. So one, I appreciate you being so honest with me, and I do my best, but there's a lot of trained professionals out there free on the web. There's so much information now. You could self-school yourself. Mountain Astrologer, I love. They come out. They used to have, I don't know anymore, they used to have a section in the center. Donna Cunningham passed on. A lot of the old, the really, really best. We lost a lot over the last few years as far as, I don't think those voids have been filled yet. And they're still like finding people. So you really have to judge your own, like for guidance. At the end of the day, trust what's going on. 3 is the first number to which the meaning all was given. I like that little hint. It is a triad, the whole as if it contains the beginning, a middle, and an end. Yeah, nature, heaven, earth, and water. In the human body, the human nature is body, soul, spirit. The Catholic Trinity, Father, Son, Holy Ghost. So as we go into the spring, the other day I was down around Powell Street coming back from Trader Joe's or something, and there was a vast sea of people waiting to get on one of the cable cars and buy tickets, and it was a nice day, and everybody with tourists were out in full pack. And this one guy was like way on the other side. He jumped up and went, "Hey, Psychic Frank, you see anything in my future?" God bless him. Hey, honey, if you're watching, yes, yes, I do. As I listen to me now, listen to what I'm saying. Email me something. My email address is right here. Yeah, anybody can email me a question. When you give, when you learn, teach, and you got to be true to yourself. Above all, be true to yourself in this social, obsessed with being social. If you're not on Facebook these days, which I just call voluntary surveillance, I had my experience with Facebook, and it was not pleasant. It's a very addictive experience. I'll give them that. But I shuddered. It's been a few years now that through the act of God, I'm no longer part of Facebook. But in this social, anybody who has any 7 energy, you need a lot of time alone. Like if your day in Mars vibrates to 7, like mine does, or you're a 7 life path, it doesn't mean you spend your life in solitude, but even in a relationship, it's got to be understood. I need my own space. You know, when I'm in there, shut the door. And that's my space. You know, where I recharge emotionally. Get a house near a beach where you get to walk. I don't know, Socialize, have fun. This last year has been very, very stressful. Now, where's this Donald Trump stuff? Let me look at. If you have any questions now, you can call in about Donald Trump, Putin, Michael Cohen. So let's see where 15 degrees. Let me see what's 20 degrees is the south node. Sagittarius is the south node of Donald Trump's chart. So this is not the first incarnation where he's run over, roughshod over people. And now it's all about Gemini for him, those Gemini twins. There's that old story about the Indian kid, his little child is with the elder, and they're around the campfire, and he says, and the old guy is telling the kid that every human being has a angry wolf who's always hungry and looking for a fight, and is greedy and everything you don't want to be. And then we always have the domesticated dog who represents faithfulness, love, unconditional love, love for its master, and all the good things you want to aspire to be. And then the young kid, with his eyes wide open, says, and then which one wins? And the grandfather says, the one you feed. So remember, your actions, your words can say all you want, but your actions speak volumes, Like Abraham Lincoln, bless his soul, said, if you want to test someone's character, give them power. Well, we see now what giving Donald Trump power has shown he has no character. He has nothing but character defects. How the man continues to live. He's, as I said, the universe sent him from a dark, evil place to teach us how fragile he's. If he didn't exist, I honestly believe we'd have to invent him. I've left my Soro Das book home, Lama Soro Das book, but there's that one chapter towards the end of Awakening the Buddha Within You, Lama Soro Das, where he says, you've reached some stage of enlightenment when you could look back at your life, the good, bad, the hideous, and be grateful for it all. And that does not mean you condone, the evil, the violence, but you just understand it. It took what it took for you to get your consciousness going, As I said earlier, who wants to... So you want to... It's all about embracing the paradigms. You want a whole new or a different aspect of some new things going on. This is all about the North Node in cuddly Cancer now. Just started a few weeks ago. This hasn't happened for... it's for 18 months. It goes counterclockwise. The Dragon's Head, also known as the North Node, is in Cancer now, like 29, 28. Let me look at the right number here. It's right in front of me. I don't have to guess because it's right here, December 6th. The North Node is 21 retrograde. And in 18 months, 17 months from now, it'll be 0 degrees Cancer, and then I think from then we go from Cancer to Virgo. Yeah. Okay, so so this was 2001. That was 18 months of North Node in Cancer. So right now, see, the North Node in Cancer is the Dharma, the practice, what you got to be doing now. I think we're literally war weary. This is the longest war. It's interesting now, old man Trump died, old man Bush died, H.W. Sr., and the younger Bush, I remember when we went into Vietnam, when we went into the Middle East and bombed the hell out of Iraq and killed Saddam Hussein, so dead mans won't tell no tales. I remember everything. I'm a Taurus moon. It's a blessing and a blessing. It took me a long time to understand that. I remember them asking him, many of the reporters asked him, did you refer to with your dad on this? And your dad, and he came right out and said, no, because he knew his father was against invading. It's funny how they're not mentioning that now. His father disagreed, 100%. Don't do this. He was all Cheney, evil Dick Cheney. He was just a mentally deficient son, the president like a puppet, It was Cheney who got us into this mess, and now he's out there, out of the wheelchair on his fifth or sixth, eighth or ninth heart, Dick Cheney. All these, I guess everybody's drinking Kool-Aid, everybody's I'm not going to get into George Herbert Walker Bush there, but America's got to pick its heroes, and start questioning authority, question everything, question reality. Donald Trump lives in a scary, scary place because it's profitable. He said in one of his press conferences before he became president, when he was thinking about it, running for president, that he likes when the economy bottoms out because he could get good deals on real estate and all that, And this man is we have a Russian operative asset in the White House. It's what we need, Yeah, I think I'm just walking around in a total state of bewilderment, and it's not like a roomie when he talks about bewilderment. It's like an aesthetic. Oh, I'm bewildered by your beauty. I do that with my parrot. My parrot just is so smart and so beautiful. She just bewilders me with her intelligence and sometimes with her nastiness. Yeah, she's a constant teacher. She's like Peter Sellers in Cato. She's always like giving me these tests to test my anger. Always at the moment when I don't need it, she'll decide at that precise moment to carry on like a crazy bird. And it's always when I'm really intensely into something that I need all my attention. And that's like a good thing to have when you think about it, because, it's one of those equanimity of mind. My mind is so centered that no distraction around me can get me off of what I'm doing. So it's taken me 7 decades on this planet to collect a lot of dots, but I now don't have to. So I ran into an old neighbor of mine who's a few years older than me, a bachelor and a great guy, and he said, wished me a happy birthday the other day. I was playing with his dog in the park, and he said, the good thing about 70, my mother told me, his late mother, was he remembered it and wanted to share it with me, that after 70, you don't have to explain. No, it's enough. And this was a man of color, and I'm sure his mother was a wise woman of color who passed on that pearl of wisdom. So, longevity, living long is a gift denied to many. But in this youth-oriented society, and right now they're showing a vegan diet. You can live 120, a healthy 120. I'm not talking like a 94-year-old vegetable like George Bush was, the one that just died. He was no saint. What was it? Just a few months ago, they were talking in the home. He was grabbing nurses and telling them it was some sick game where he said the answer to the game was David Copperfield, and he would grab them. I don't care how old you are. You don't grab women or you get a broken arm, But because, it's funny now they're talking about him like he was I don't understand it, and I don't let it keep me up at night because I don't understand anything what's going on now except my part in it. Which leads me to a wonderful thing I brought I'd like to share. Oh yeah, my next show, I told you I won't be here again, so have a merry, happy holiday season. Joy to the world, show your compassion. The best gift you can give somebody is unconditional love and non-judgmental attention. Bayvac's going to be closed, this wonderful studio I'm in, which, by the way, was paid with way back with when Obama took over, President Obama took over, and the stimulus package. This studio I'm using right now came with the stimulus money. So So let's hope improvements happen with this as a form of self-expression. And thank you for supporting. Thank you for a year of supporting BayVac. Let me see. So I'm going to be here again, though. So I will be here just before Christmas. I will be here on the 20th because the BayVac will be closed starting the 23rd, right through, and be back open, I guess, on Monday the 7th. So of January. And then I will be here. I'm usually here the 1st and the 3rd. So being I missed the 1st is on a 2nd and the studio will be closed, I only get to do one show in January, and that will be on the 16th of January. Oh no, that's Wednesday the 16th. 17th. January 17th, I will be here. That's the only show I get to do next year. Which is just a few months away. So what happens, though, for us old souls when we change, when in Rome do as the Romans, the numerology changed, the calendars changed. Yeah, there's an overlapping of both. We still have to embrace that number. Say, for instance, you're going into a 1 year, the drawbridge is down, opportunities that have been waiting 9 years can come in for you now. And so yeah, opportunities. I was thinking that, and that makes you're in a 9 year now. Okay, and don't forget now, if you want to know more about what this universal 3 energy is all about, just look up at all of the qualities of the planet Mercury. So any career involved with self-expression, which is all of this wonderful. Yeah, we've seen the dark side of the communication evolution. There was the industrial evolution. Before that, the agricultural evolution, the Bronze Age, the Iron Age. You know, it goes on and on. Every age brought us, its shadow. As I said, agricultural evolution brought us. It was a good idea to poison our food, which it's still rampant, and women and men and cancer victims don't heal. March and spend money and feed the people who are killing them, where they should be going to the manufacturers and the chemical laboratories that are using them as biological experiments. They're messing with these with the food. It's all about clean food, clean living. Alcohol, the holiday season now, and the Royal Crown whiskey, oh my God. And of course, it's people of color, Latino people who should not be, nobody should be drinking alcohol. I want to see, if you got to do something, cannabis, harm reduction. There should be cannabis everywhere, and this whole thing about, you drink to escape, you use cannabis to get into it, It's life, man. Be joyful. Yeah, we're living through some time. This is a true, if you say you've got faith, then you should be very happy because now you get a chance to, if you're angry now, if you're fearful, worryful now, you have more faith in evil than you do in God or your higher power. So it's all about, your soul loves it when you look in the mirror and make eye contact with your soul. You strengthen your soul. So repeat the day. It's very important to remember. I don't care if I have to repeat it on every show. Souls not too much about the present. They love the past. They really love the future. The present not so much. So repeat the day. Today is the Thursday, the 6th, the new moon of December 2018. Say that a few times, and that brings it right. So remember, the throat chakra rules all the chakras. I am and I have. I'm trying. I watch a lot of TV, and I hear so many nice people whose hearts are in the right place, and they say, "We're trying to do this." Don't even bother. Do me a favor. Don't even bother. I am. This is doable. I will do this. When a doctor looks you in the eye and tells you you're going to die in a couple of months or weeks, they told me that one time in my life when I was in my 20s even, from, I by all rights, as I said, I'm just grateful to be alive now. So work on your. If you want to have to that young man who it was so fun when he said, "You see anything in my future?" Well, I don't have to see it, but I could tell you for everybody's future. If you do something different, the universal vibration, add the number 3 to your day and month. Add your day and month of your birth to one digit, even if it's 11, 22, 33, 44. You can just make it like if you say 11, make it a 2 just to do the math. So add that 2 and 3 together and you get 5, or add the 3 and 3 together and get 6, and then look up on your computer what it says about 6 personal year. Like for the United States of America, which if you're watching this, you're in the United States, this is affecting you. We're going to see, especially in July, new beginnings come up. Oh yeah, I brought my cards. Everybody loves when I do the cards. Let's see. You know, I left my books. I left one book at home. I really wanted to bring it here, and I left my gong. Oh, and the next time I be here, I'll have this book. Really, there's some really good things here about what people call attention disorder. He calls it curiosity. Immensely wonderful curiosity. Yeah, we curse our kids. You want kids? You know what? They're noisy. If you want peace, you shouldn't have had kids. Get over it. And these people doping their kids up or splicing genes to make quiet, well-behaved. I guess stepford wife kids. I don't know what's going on with this technology. You know, I wrote something that something down that. What's his name? Albert Einstein said technological progress is like an axe in the hands of a pathological criminal. Ain't that the truth? And Facebook is still, they're asking, it's like Frank the Wolfman, lock us up, restrain us, put restraints on us, just like you do on the on any major utility. But hopefully the Dems will do that when they get in. Jane Wagner is married to Lily Tomlin. She's I love her. Brilliant soul. She says, reality is the leading cause of stress amongst those in touch with it. So, you live in your reality, I'll live in my reality, Agent Orange, they refer to the Don. In his mind, he's the Don. Yeah, Pluto is slow, drop by drop. Everything that's happening now is so Pluto. Every time they describe this slow process, they might as well be teaching astrology. Yeah, Pluto, the planet of death, destruction, and rebirth. There's a whole article in the Mountain Astrologer about 2020. Is when Pluto and Saturn will be exactly conjunct 20-something degrees. We're going to talk about that next time I'm here. Oh yeah, and then there's a quote by James Baldwin I thought was great. I just saw it here. I imagine one of the reasons people cling to their hates so stubbornly is because they sense once hate is gone, they will be forced to deal with the pain. And stop trying to push the pain away or cover it up with drugs or alcohol or escapism or addiction to anger, which is it's like drinking poison and making if something makes you angry, make changes. Confront that person that made you angry and say, okay, you know what? I never want to have another experience like this. I want this, and then otherwise the subconscious will magically choreograph a situation and present it to you in your life. So as I said, when you say eventually, I guess everybody should reach a point in their life where they say, okay, I'm going to start transcending my ego, and I'm going to start working on this hot temper I got, this A personality, whatever you want to call it. Then the universe is going to put people in your face who are more out of control than you are to show you, okay, so once again, this is Earth School 101. It's like being served the best meal in the worst restaurant. So, close your eyes, summon your strength, believe, People become neurotic, Carl Jung said, when they contend themselves with inadequate or wrong answers to the questions of life. You know, they don't have book sales at this season right now, but at the library every Wednesday for many months out of the year when the sun is out, they have all these books for $1. I mean, valuable, like art books, $1. I mean, I don't know, to clear out their warehouse. And there was this one book, I picked it up and then put it down, and it says, I'm neurotic, you're neurotic, it's all okay. And then I laughed and put it down. I should have got it, it was only $1. But I remember the title. There's another book had a title, Bad Times Don't Last. I forget it. No, Tough Times Don't Last, Tough People Do. That was a horrible book, actually, but the title was great. Sometimes it's just the title. That's all you need. So people become neurotic when, that's what reminded me, you know, the book was, I'm neurotic, you're neurotic, it's all, you're neurotic, I'm neurotic, and it's all okay, or something. It was a really funny title. When people become, you just don't want to become psychotic, you know. Well, neurosis makes you colorful, I guess. When people become neurotic, when they contend themselves with inadequate or wrong answers to the questions of life, they seek position, marriage, reputation, outward success, or money, and remain unhappy or neurotic. Donald Trump, even when they have attained what they were seeking, such people are usually confined within too narrow a spiritual horizon. ... If they are enabled to develop more spacious personalities, the neurosis generally disappears. Imagine what any of the Donald Trump wives, anybody that's grown up and married, went through the dating pool and dated a lying person. I think, there's nothing worse than a liar. Imagine what Ivanka, the mother of those kids, had to put up with. I mean, when you realize, oh my God, I'm married to a pathological liar. Oh yeah, and then one of those many books out on Donald Trump now, there's a whole lot about the contracts with his wives, about $25,000 for every baby they deliver to the marriage. I mean, it's just like, it makes you be ever so humble. You have your home. Oh yeah, see, so Mars is in Pisces now. That's good to know. That only happens every 2 years for 6 weeks. So and what's happening right today is Mars in Neptune. So Neptune's going to wash out a lot of that Mars energy, but it's a good time to work with the dream state. So if most people here in San Francisco who don't watch my shows on YouTube, by the way, that's going to be up on Saturday, they watch us on Saturday, and the new moon I'm talking about today will be over. But on Saturday, December 8th, the moon will be in, Capricorn, earthy Capricorn. So that reminds me of the South Node in Capricorn. I didn't mention that. I mentioned the North Node in cuddly Cancer now. Security, what are we fighting for? Trusting unseen forces behind the scenes at work. And the Capricorn is what's redundant in our life. What's the same old, what keeps on like the same Groundhog's Day, the same day, different, same scenario. Only thing that's changed, I'm a day older, but it's the same crap, different day. SOS, same old, same old, as everybody says. I hear that a lot. Has the same old. Well, you can't say it now. This is not the same old. Get involved. I know people are angry. Instead of going on self-destruct mode, that's what I did during the Reagan years. I was young then. My hormones were raging. I went into the jungles of Guatemala, Hawaii, and just lived like a maniac. And now I'm still living like a maniac. But I settled down. And I got a dog, and now I have a parrot. A nation does not know how to. IFDR said a nation does not have to be cruel to be strong. You know, so many of our presidents, I don't think we have one president who enjoyed the sadistic and had friends and put people in office that were just did these mean, sadistic, racist things. He's a loathsome character. I remember in Whoopi Goldberg and Sister Act where Maggie Smith, the head nun, is saying to her, you know, laying after she hears her BS, she looks her in the eye and she says, "People want to kill you. Anyone who's ever met you, I'm sure." You know, it's like, yeah, you know, as I said, yeah, I know, let's face it, a lot of people aren't into what I do. But at least, as I said, I don't think anybody wants to kill me, except when I was on Facebook. Yeah, I have a lot of New York friends who are musicians to go on tour, and this one woman, Linda, I don't know why she, her Facebook friend somehow got on my Facebook, and then found out I was gay, and he was from Texas, and he was my age, and according to him, his exact words, "I hope you die of AIDS." And this was a couple of years ago, because I've been on Facebook for a while. And people say, "Why don't you go on Facebook?" Why? Would I have a keep me sign on my back? No, when I was drunk, you could have got me on there, but I'm sober now. Taking money from the needy and giving it to the greedy. That's what's going on now. And here's the critical, this is why I'm so into Dr. Mario Martinez, who's adored when he goes on tour in Europe. A lot of my friends are, one in particular, my best friend is a psychic, has a mystery school in Brazil, you know, which once again is going right because of the guy we got in our president there, this excuse for a human being. The lowest denominator of human existence. As I said, Trump Cheney lowered the bar so low that this Donald character was, the slime was able to ooze under it. So, but Mario now, I want to end this on a good note. Dr. Mario Martinez in the Mind-Body Code says on page 47, and here is a critical concept to grasp if we are to understand the healing mechanism at work. A wound is a state of helplessness, and healing is a return to empowerment. When you're going through a dark night of the soul like America is going through right now, where our democracy is hanging on a respirator, we're going through it to learn something. Another word for contract opportunity is a contract renegotiation times. Time to renegotiate our contract. I think we need to get some kind of public service going on, like the Peace Corps and young men in between high school and when they don't know what to do. A rite of passage would be them to do, you know, like Peace Corps work in a place like Honduras or any place like that. I was going to do the cards, but we all need to take care of ourselves. It's all about nurturing ourselves on this new moon. Be in the present, of course, but be optimistic and be enthusiastic about the future. Enthusiasm is everything. It's not just a little bit, it's everything. I love you. Thank you. Okay, we get this off. Oh, wait a second.